Morgendorfer and On24. I'm here to give you a quick overview of the Vidiu interface management via the web. So this would be if you had your Vidiu rack mounted somewhere, or you wanted to simply manage it over a switch or a router because it's more convenient to do so from a web page. So let's get started. First thing to note, you've got a green button there in the middle. That is your control for turning the Vidiu encoder on and off. You see below there the modes that it operates in RTMP, and I've pre-populated it with the On24 media server URL as well as a stream name associated with an On24 webcast. So let's go ahead and click on the settings menu so we can have a look at what settings are available. You'll notice you've got 4 selections here: broadcast, video audio, system, and network. Let's start with broadcast. First off, you want to check the quality. Make sure that the quality is what you're intending to set out. It'll do up to full HD, which is about 5 megabits, all the way down to mobile. But for most intents and purposes, what you want is the custom setting. The custom setting allows you to adjust the resolution, which is the dimensions of the stream, as well as the bitrate. The dimensions of your stream should match whatever you have the On24 webcast console media player set to. So in this case, I've chosen 640 by 360 because I've chosen 640 by 360 for the webcast viewing. The bitrate, this is fully adjustable here. As you see, it goes quite high, up to 5 meg. I have started it at 500K. That low of a bitrate will get you pretty good quality at the 640 by 360 screen size, but it's not going to tax your network overly. So it's best to start here if you don't have any other information, and then maybe ratchet up the bitrate as you deem necessary. Do check with your IT administrator for your corporate LAN to make sure that you're not overloading the LAN. Streaming does tend to take up a great deal of bitrate across the LAN, especially if they're all unicast streams. By that I mean you don't have any kind of delivery mechanism like cache serving or multicasting going on behind your network. Frame rate, you should select full here. This will match the frame rate of your input video for the best resolution. If you choose half or quarter, it might go from 30 frames down to 15 or less, 7.5, and that at that point people start looking staccato, so it's not recommended. Under audio quality, I have it set to mobile. Mobile is a good selection for many folks who are supporting mobile, but you can adjust the audio quality up if you've got a lot of music, or if you are attenuated to audio quality. It's purely a matter of taste. So let's look at the platform selection. There are pre-populated platforms here, as you can see, but we want to choose manual and then go into custom. Here's where you input, copy and paste your On24 media server location. This is the A side. So if you've only got one encoder, you would choose the A media server. And this remains unchanged for most part. And then your stream name. The stream name is particular to your individual webcast that you're doing. Each webcast has a different stream name, as well as the A side or the B side on the encoding for redundancy. So you want to make sure to copy and paste the right stream name in here that goes with not only your webcast, but also if you're doing you're offering redundancy, you want to make sure that you've got the A's and the B's matched. So there's an A side set of encoders with a media server URL and associated stream name, as well as a B side media server URL and associated stream name. There's some advanced settings here. I wouldn't worry about them. There's some backups and things here. You won't need that. Auto start, I like to leave it disabled so that I choose when to start. Otherwise, you power it up and it will automatically start encoding. And auto reconnect, I like to leave enabled. So if for some reason the encoder disconnects due to some network issue, it will try to reconnect. If you're, let's say, someone knocks the power off your router, they plug it back in, it reconnects. The encoder will also try to reconnect to the server automatically, which is a good thing. Video quality here, we already went over, so let's go ahead and move back. Now if we go to audio and video, I have it set to widescreen. If you choose no, that'll basically make it 4:3 aspect instead of 16:9. Almost everybody does 16:9 these days. Audio source, if you're running your audio into the camera from, let's say, a mixer or microphone, you want to choose HDMI as the audio source. There is also a setting where you can choose analog. There is a mini stereo jack input on the back of the Vidiu. If you choose analog, it will fetch the audio from that stereo jack input. You can also make it mono left or mono right if you want, instead of stereo. There's a line and mic level selection here. It's possible to plug a mic directly into the Teradek encoder if you desire. You'll have to choose mic for that if that's your intent. Otherwise, leave it on line level if you're coming out of a mixer or something of that nature. Those are different voltage levels, so a line level, it will anticipate a very low voltage input from a microphone. A mic level is a very low voltage input from a mic, and line level is much higher. So you don't want to, if you confuse the two, if you have this set to mic and you're sending it line, you'll notice everything's distorted. So you just need to change this back to line level. And then you can mute. You can also adjust individually the left and right channels here of your volume coming into the Teradek. So let's go to System. This is where you do your firmware upgrades. You can put in a password, system time. There's a factory reset. It's kind of an emergency. I would stay away from that. There's some system diagnostics here you can run as well. But by and large, the only thing I'll have to do here is check for upgrade. The system will automatically check for an upgrade when it reboots. So when you first turn it on and you're connected to the internet, it'll reach out to the Teradek servers and check to see that the latest firmware is installed. This is one of the reasons you always want to do a test at least the day before. That way you can ensure that your network services are working and also install any updates as needed. In the network services, right now, I have it set DHCP, and this is the both the gateway and the name server that I'm using. But this is where you will adjust your inputs, your IP connection. So you can modify the wired connection. Right now, as I said, it's set to DHCP, so it automatically fetches an address. But you can actually come over here and go static and type in a static IP if your IT administrator can only give you, or for the firewall reasons, let's say, for security, only wants to give you static IP, so that is an option as well. It does support a USB modem, although I wouldn't recommend it. Any kind of wireless is not recommended for live streaming due to the fact that wireless can be intercepted. It's subject to electromagnetic interference, and especially in hotel ballrooms or any kind of conference situation, if you're using, let's say, a Wi-Fi or a USB modem with a cellular wireless, what will happen is the connectivity will be fine before the show, but as soon as the audience fills in and everybody walks in with their mobile device, they're all using IP, the bandwidth will degrade precipitously, and that will negatively impact your stream. Oftentimes stop it. So I want to stick with wired. And that's about it. Once you're done, you've got all the settings input now that you desire into the encoder. All you have to do is press the red button, and you'll notice that the broadcast is starting, broadcast is live. It gives you some information there, and there's a little GIF that's going on here to let you know that you are indeed streaming live. If for some reason the media server cannot be located, or you have the wrong stream name associated with it, let's say, or you have a blank space in there that you left by mistake, it will attempt to start, but it won't. So you'll get an error back that tells you that there's something wrong. Usually that case is you want to check your stream name for any spaces, as well as the media server. Oftentimes when you copy and paste out of emails, you inadvertently copy and paste a blank space at the beginning or the end of that character string, and that's what causes the error, mostly. So that's it for the Teradek Vidiu control by webpage. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, please contact me, Andy.Kochendorfer, Kochendorfer, at on24.com. Happy to help.